That's Saint Seiya. And this is the armor of Pegasus. And that is Seiya, with the constellation of Pegasus. Now, since Seiya is one of those like beloved 80s animes that it's insanely regarded as one of the classics. Now, I know it did not make a lot of buzz here in the United States, but in Mexico, it was insanely big. To rival the popularity of Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball, even. Simple shonen premise, but when it's done with heart and emotional weight, it turns out fantastic. Well, as all good things come to be, we are about to have a live action fucking movie of this thing. Now, if you have not seen Saint Seiya, aside from highly recommending it, um, let me give you a little bit of the premise. There's this old guy who believes his like granddaughter person is the reincarnation of Athena, and he's like the sacred sage or something that protects armors from different constellations that harness the power of the gods. This touches on a lot of like Nordic mythology as well as Greek and Roman. So there's a combination of everything. But according to the constellations, you get the armor, but you need to summon the power of the said constellation in order to get the armor. It's not something that you can just like earn. So then the entire premise is to like bring Athena back into the world per se, save the world, and defeat the evil doers that also have other types of armors, including like the main villains and stuff like that. That's kind of the premise. So I was doing a stream on Twitch the other night, and we watched this trailer. So I'm not going to have you suffer with me through it, but it did not sit right with me because now I feel like we might have another Dragon Ball evolution situation. And before you start tapping in the comments, Ivan, this actually looks like it's going to slap. What are you talking about? Let me explain my case. Okay? Let me explain my case. So I'm not going to play the audio necessarily. Well, maybe just a bit for you to like listen to very important details. Now, this is Athena. I don't know who she is, but this is Athena. And the costumes look actually accurate to what the show's costumes look like. Do I think she's like a good fit for Athena? I don't know. Athena always gave me this air of like elegance, and she seems a little too young for the role. But anyways, I guess he's going to be the grandfather. But then here we have Seiya, who is a cage fighter or something like that, where he's going to like demonstrate his skills, and then the grandpa comes and recruits him, right? In the original series, Seiya as well as other warriors are chosen from being orphans, like they're orphans, and they train them in these islands to harness those powers. Like one of them gets sent to like Evil Island, and this one gets sent to like Acid Island, and this one gets sent to like shit's gonna happen badly Island and stuff like that. And then they harness like their powers and they train a lot. So here, this is red flag number one, and I'll continue, but I'll bring my points later a little bit. So here we see that they are living in a mostly modern world. Red flag number two. But we still see that there's an island, which is good, and there's the key for the armor of Pegasus. And then we see kind of the reveal of the armor. Here we have Marine, I think is her name. She's the one that trains Seiya in the series. So here we have accuracy. It seems like she's gonna be the one to train Seiya. And am I a fan of the CGI? Not necessarily. Looks a little bit too cheap for the type of cast that they're doing. But hey, it is what it is. This is major red flag number 3. This character right here. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. So just keep doing that. Okay, we have a lot of guns, just FYI. Again, red flag number 2. They are in a very modern world. Okay? So, Jean Grey is here, so that might be good. Then we have Athena going batshit insane, which that shouldn't happen necessarily now, but... And this... I already know what it is, so a little spoiler to the series. In the original series, the Knights of the Zodiac, which all of them have like different constellations. Like for example, Seiya enters a tournament to technically win this armor. There's a golden armor that they fight for. To protect Athena. Like the entire mission of the Knights of the Zodiac is to become incredibly strong warriors in order to protect the reincarnation of Athena, which is the woman in purple. But this is the golden armor. So they make this badass tournament, and all of these warriors fight, including our 4 main characters in the original series, which is Seiya of Pegasus, Shiru of Dragon, Sean from Swan. He's the Swan. He controls eyes. No, Sean is Andromeda, and then the Swan, whose name I can't remember. But anyways, so all of them are like entering the tournament, and it's like this badass fights and everything. Here it seems like someone already has the armor and is gonna fight them. And why do I think that's a little, I don't know, problematic, let's say? It's because it seems that it's going into the direction that I'm going to predict. So let me put this as red flag number 4. Again, I'll explain all the red flags in just a minute. This is not necessarily a red flag. I kind of appreciate what they're doing here, but it's not necessarily up to my taste, which is the armor. Now, the original armor of Pegasus is this. It's a very simple armor that allows for nimble, movements and everything. The helmet has little things and everything. That's it. It's red and silver, which this one is red and silver. But for me, it's a little too clunky, Like, I appreciate the fact that they're, like, putting the effort. Like, I can see the effort in this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to besmirch on the effort that they're trying to put in. But the next shot explains my worry with this design of the armor. I like the fact that they actually have the box in which the armor is collected. Here. He does the punch, right? And because of the framing of the shot, the armor looks a little too bulky. Like all the plates are like one on top of the other. So you don't get that problem with such a nimble armor. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, I'm not saying that this is a bad negative point to me. I just don't particularly like it. Anyways, so here we go with the thing that ties everything up into why I think this might be another Dragon Ball Evolution situation. And remember all my red flags. So with this next shot is the one that I was just like, okay, this is not gonna be good. This shot right here. Okay? Remember the guy that I told you he's red flag number 3? This armor is the armor of the Phoenix. Okay? Why is that important? Because Iki, the name of the character that earns the armor of Phoenix, is a guy that has a brother in the tournament that they're fighting for this, and he like comes out of nowhere, and he's kind of the antagonist for a minute, for like 5 episodes. But the point is that he comes out of nowhere, and he's like very powerful, but he thinks he's doing the right thing because a little bit of a spoiler alert, the he has a passing, someone kills someone very important to him, and that's when he hones and summons the power of the phoenix. So we have emotional weight, and also because he gets to see his own brother who kind of sacrificed his life for, in a way, because like I told you, they are going to different islands. So Iki, instead of going to the island that his brother needed to go, he went to that island, and he got treated like absolute shit. So he built a lot of like anger and everything. So seeing his brother and then having the power after the loss of someone very dear to him, that was like impactful emotionally. Here, this is where I explain all my red flags real quick. Red flag number one, the amount of real worldness, and pretty much, let me explain. Why do I think this is going to be like a Dragon Ball Evolution situation is because they were faithful to some details, like the costumes in a way with Dragon Ball Evolution and the name of the characters. But when it came to the actual story, they tried to adapt it into a modern world. They had Goku go to fucking high school trying to get laid. Then, they had like so many changes that didn't make sense. Like Roshi did not live in a freaking island. He lived in like the middle of fucking New York or something. So, seeing this guys in armor too, and we were able to see one guy over here like put his I think it was the grandpa, he put his armor on, yeah, something like that. And then seeing Iki getting the armor of Phoenix inside a building as opposed to the fucking desert in this mythical land, it's triggered me the wrong way. Why? Because I feel like this is going to be an evil corporation bullshit that is trying to harness the power of the armors of the gods for their own personal gain. Because we see that these minions per se are wearing an armor that is kind of reminiscent of the original armors. So they're trying to replicate it or like try to fight it. So I think we are leaving the mysticism on the side, and we're seeing like this guy is earning the armor. There's no tournament to be seen because again, we are in a modern world. It seems like it's gonna be a good guy versus bad guy, as opposed to like we come with all the warriors together to protect the future Athena. And then also for whatever reason, the fucking grandpa is fighting, and he's going to lose, as we see here. So spoiler alert in the fucking trailer. Then we see this when they fight, and where are they fighting? A fucking building. So I can already assume that this is going to take place in our world as opposed to like the martial art mystic world that this originally takes place. And because of that, I feel like we might have another Dragon Ball Evolution on the side where it's faithful in like one or two areas, but they're trying to Americanize the story because otherwise we wouldn't understand it, right? So it's going to be this evil corporation where the evil guy gets the evil armor and then the good guy gets the good armor. Like he's blue and red as they should, but I mean, we're forgetting Shiru, who's green, then the Swan, blue, and Sean, Andromeda, he's pink. So it's like it's not indicative of whichever side they're on. It's just indicative of the armor that they're wearing. So long story short, I think they are going to use barely any consistent elements of the original source material, and they're going to Americanize or like modernize the story into a good versus evil situation. Do I want to be right? No, I want live action movies to be good. I'm going to be honest and say no, this shit sucks. You know, if it does suck, like Rurouni Kenshin movies, they're fucking fantastic. But then the Dead Note Netflix movies are fucking horrible. The one movie they did. So I want it to be good because I love the series. I really like Saint Seiya. But does this right here give me faith that that I'm gonna be satisfied with the ending product? I don't think so. But you let me know what you think. This is just my rant and opinion. Again, opinions are subjective, believe it or not. They're not facts, unless it's my opinion, which is always 100% right, scientifically proven by Einstein. So let me know what you think in the comments down below about this situation. And if you're a fan of Knights of the Zodiac or Saint Seiya, let me know too, because this is a story that is dear to my heart. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Leave a like, subscribe, and all that shit. So with that said, I'll see you guys later.